Live from downtown Detroit, home of WDIV and Click on Detroit, Local 4 News at 11 starts now.
Tonight, the Michigan House says it's time to put your cell phone down if you're driving.
My mother-in-law's liberties were taken away from her by somebody texting on a phone. This has to stop.
Several bills passed today have an escalating scale of fines and the potential to lose your license if you're caught.
This is the latest attempt to crack down on the distracted driving that we all see every day. Mara McDonald live downtown. The bills say you can, though, use your phone if it's hands-free, Mara.
That's right, Devin, and there is an exception to that hands-free that's written into it, and it means if you got to call 911, you can go ahead and pick up your phone. Let me show you. Oh.
People texting and talking on a phone handheld while driving are responsible for thousands of crashes on Michigan roadways alone. These new bills mean you'd have to use hands-free tech to talk on the phone or send a voice text.
They serve as a way to both encourage better behavior from drivers on our roads and allow our law enforcement to keep those who are driving distracted in check.
The bills also prohibit driving and accessing, reading, or posting to a social media site. The bills are a bipartisan effort, but at least one lawmaker claimed it's an infringement on one's liberty.
To me, this feels like the big hand of government. They know best. They know what's best for us. Am I alone? Do others feel this chipping away at the foundation of liberty in this country?
His was the minority view, since driving is a privilege, not a right. The main bill passed overwhelmingly.
And I don't believe we're taking away personal liberties by telling people you can't have your phone in your hand while you're driving. In fact, are these changes in our cars taking away from personal liberties when they made us have brake lights? When they make us put a turn signal on? When we have to have a seatbelt on? When we have to have a darn car seat that corresponds with the size and weight of our child as they get older?
Back here live, the way this bill is written, the fines would be on a sliding scale. For example, your first violation is 100. It goes up from there, and past the third, well, they'd consider suspending your license. We're live downtown tonight. Devin, back to you.
So these now head to the Senate. Mara, what are you hearing about the potential for passage there?
Uncertain, Devin. You know, they tried something similar back in 2019 and it never really got anywhere, but this one's got some bipartisan juice this time around, so let's see what happens.
We sure will. All right, Mara.
All right, some breaking news to get to happening along I-75 tonight. That's where a fire breaks out at a high-rise for seniors.
Let's get to Tim Pamplin there with the night cam. Tim.
More fire units now responding to this high-rise fire. This is the City View Senior Complex at East Warren and 75. As I make my way around this police cruiser here, residents were evacuated, some sitting in their cars, others waiting outside. Now, thanks to the fast and professional work of the Detroit Fire Department, they quickly got water upstairs onto the 9th floor where the fire was. There you see water coming out the window. The fire was contained to that 9th floor apartment. Seniors hearing the alarm and being told to get out the high-rise.
I just heard the alarm go off, and then my wife and I came outside from the 5th floor, and we sat on down, in the car right here.
Yeah, residents, some standing out in the cold, others sheltering in their car. So back out here, no injuries to report. Fire has been knocked down. That is the scene along 75 at East Warren. With the night cam, Tim Pamplin, Local 4.
All right, Tim, over in Southfield, a fire broke out in the basement of one of the apartments at Solaire Senior Living. That's on Providence Drive. About 44 firefighters had to be called to the scene. We're told the basement has extensive damage. Smoke made it up all the way to the 10th floor. 3 people were hurt, but it's expected they're going to be okay.
Always a concern with the high-rise building of this is the smoke. Controlling that ventilation is key to it. We're able to shelter residents in place. We have no one displaced from this fire.
Crews are still investigating the cause of the fire.
All right, those firefighters are busy tonight working in the bitter cold.
Let's check in with Paul on where these temperatures go from here. Paul.
Yeah, and hats off to all of you first responders out there working in these conditions. It is bitter cold. Temperatures have fallen slowly this evening because of the cloud cover. We're in the teens in most areas, but these wind chills are well down into the single digits right now. Now, when you wake up tomorrow morning, actual temperatures are going to be about 6, 7, 8 degrees in the urban heat island. Then you get out away from the city, like to the north here. We're actually going to have below zero temperatures, but it's the wind chill that really matters. That's what it feels like when you step out the door. And it's going to be wind chills of, say, 3, 4, 5 below zero in our metro zone. Then you get into our south zone, it looks like it's more like 5, 6 below zero for those wind chills, maybe 6, 7 below in some spots. West zone, 7, 8, 9 below zero. And then in our north zone, we're looking at some areas approaching 10 below zero, even 17 below in Lexington. Some people asked me earlier today if wind chills are going to cause schools to close tomorrow. Most schools don't close till you get to like 15 below wind chill, but keep an eye on clickondetroit.com and our morning show starting at 4:30 a.m. just in case. I'll be back with the rest of the forecast in just a few.
All right, Paul. A parent at the Grosse Pointe School Board meeting last night caught everyone off guard when she used a racial slur and profanity in her public comments.
And as Jason Colthorpe reports, some board members are getting some community blowback for not addressing this immediately after the fact.
I have 2 young white boys, one of which got in trouble for saying the N-word on Snapchat.
Monday's Grosse Pointe School Board meeting was pretty run-of-the-mill until this parent spoke during public comment. She was simultaneously upset over some elements of the district's recent diversity meeting and also about the fallout from her son's suspension.
We were threatened, and why? Because he said, I'm sorry, this happens to be in every song. The FCC, the John Connors, the who's who are in charge basically are allowing this, and our kids.
Excuse me, ma'am.
I'm sorry.
You can finish, but just watch the language.
I'll watch it. I'm sorry.
Afterward, 2 board members and the superintendent addressed those comments.
I've never heard the N-word used in front of our colleagues here, and this is very upsetting to me. And I have the floor right now. And we need to be able to talk about different opinions, different politics, whatever. But we don't disparage people. We don't use slurs of any kind.
And the argument that they can hear it somewhere else, therefore they can do it here, is one of the most enabling, offensive arguments, and has led to countless atrocities in our history.
Greg Bowens of the Grosse Pointes and Harper Woods NAACP has gotten several calls today about this, and many of them are upset more board members didn't speak out.
This idea that you see something racist happen right in front of your face and you don't address it is a poor reflection on the school board and the school district, because it means that you don't care.
Now, this woman's comments in their entirety were pretty disjointed, but Bowens also said, she didn't need to use that slur to make her argument, and obviously she used the same word to defend her son for using that word, and doing that, he called that, in his words, pretty sad. Back to you, Kim.
Jason, what else do we know about this parent?
Not a whole lot, actually. What Grosse Pointe Public Schools has on its website now, they've obviously bleeped out the offensive language, but there's also no introduction of this parent. We actually wanted to reach out just to clarify and see what she did mean, and she, like I said, it was disjointed, but at this point, not much. Back to you.
Maybe if she's watching, she will give us a call to tell her side of the story. Jason, we appreciate it.
Pfizer announcing the start of a clinical trial for a new vaccine engineered specifically to target the Omicron variant.
The study will examine the vaccine as both a primary dose and booster dose in up to 1,400 healthy adults ages 18 to 55. The goal is to determine if the vaccine makes a difference and if a 4th dose is needed. Some countries have already started offering additional booster shots to people 18 years of age and older.
We are looking to see if we can create a vaccine that covers Omicron and doesn't forget the other variants. What I'm hoping that we will have it is a vaccine that we will have to do once a year, like we do for many other things. Once a year, it is easier to convince people to do it.
The company plans to have the new Omicron vaccine ready in March. An update now to an announcement that we told you was coming. General Motors is making a big investment that will create thousands of jobs here in Michigan.
The really big news from earlier today, General Motors will spend more than $7 billion at 4 Michigan manufacturing sites to make more electric vehicles. Going to invest $4 billion to convert the plant in Orion Township for the production of EV pickups. GM says it'll spend more than $2.5 billion to build a new battery cell plant in Lansing. These plans will help the state keep 1,000 jobs, but create up to 4,000 more.
We intend to bring our employees along with us through this transformation to that all-electric future.
GM is doubling down on their commitment to make it in Michigan, building on our legacy and forging our future as leaders of electrification.
Tomorrow, GM CEO Mary Barra and Ford CEO Jim Farley will both attend a meeting at the White House to discuss President Biden's Build Back Better package. The investment into electric vehicles is also expected to be brought up during tomorrow's State of the State address.
Governor Gretchen Whitmer will be delivering the annual address virtually once again this year. Our live coverage gets started tomorrow night at 7.